Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko! There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No! That's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because... she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology!
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her trait?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful.
And would you happen to...
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all! There is just a ghost!
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it! Prove she's not a ghost!
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah! She must have been wearing gloves! Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko there is just a...
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it!
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah! She must have been wearing gloves! Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko... Okay, then prove
The
it!
dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves?
Well, yeah! She must have been wearing gloves, because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost!
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it! Prove she's not a ghost!
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah! She must have been wearing gloves! Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost! Okay, then prove
The
it!
dead body
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah! She must have been wearing gloves! Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That
Kyoko!
Impossible.
Okay, then prove
The dead body was...
they got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing...
Well,
Yeah, she must have been wearing, because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
that Kyoko... Okay, then prove
The dead body was...
they got burnt up!
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves, because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost!
Okay, then prove
The dead body was...
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been...
No, that's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Shoot!
If Kyoko really is,
Then who died?
There's gotta be... I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition, and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What?
If you're lying, you'll die.
Oh, she's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back.
Oh, yeah. Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
seriously?
No, that's not it.
Oh, really?
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir.
Fenrir. He's the...
Exactly. Which means that... So it must have been...
What? Hold on.
Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other Kyoko, that's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means...
And she's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turned...
Usually when there's a...
So which would mean she was...
Then...
You must know.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was...
Okay. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncover. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family...
I have officially decided to... Now then, just so the reason we're having a class tremor that points...
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope, there are only 16...
Seriously?
Who did it?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed...
Huh?
I'm sure you realize...
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to... It's just after nighttime at that point. So, the murder however, that's the whole time we were very... All of which is to...
Are me?
Exactly.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the...
Are you thinking of raising an up...
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm, well, it was after nighttime for sure. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between... Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the...
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder.
It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, it's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler?
Man,
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us. I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? Nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Oh, they only got the top wet?
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half. So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at night.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it!
In which case, the only one...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying...
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the master...
A trap?
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy!
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill. Huh? She thought Mukuro was the... So she killed her. But you made one cat... And as a result...
So...
She had a motive.
I'm not... Huh? The sprinklers didn't get the body wet. Because you see...
Interesting.
All it would take was cover it...
I got it! You're talking about the tarp.
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Wait.
And what might that be? By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless.
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the bottom, of course it didn't get dirty.
By
covering the body, the killer prevents.
So the reason that was the spring, but the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty!
Shoot!
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason that because the spring, but the underside, it was totally
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the of course it didn't get dirty!
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty... Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh! Yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body? What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs. That's what Hifumi did, right?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, you said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
Covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms were...
Then that settles it.
Sorry,
Here's what happened. The murder took place before but the body didn't get then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp. They pulled the coat over the body. This series of cover-ups, they wanted us to think the murder happened.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible.
but wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after
That actually wouldn't have been... Huh? They already had the coat ready. So they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the... They'd be done in no time.
Maybe.
Hina, after you met up with...
Oh, no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate. Well then, it looks like Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again—
For serious, man? Hey, why don't we let luck decide?
Oh!
See? Pretty—
No, not that!
Well, don't just stand there.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we found stuck in the According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what if—
I'm pretty sure I'd see. That's what I thought when I first saw.
It's the knife.
You don't seem surprised. You must— Then why did you hide—
It's not that I hid it.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came— Now I'm totally convinced he did it!
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it! Makoto did it!
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
The knife we found.
It's the same one we...
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, that seals it. Makoto—
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, it's wrong! Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum...
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any head...
I got it! After the explosion, we found that fragment reveals...
Huh? You know...
That's only natural, because... We saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb!
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think that...
That's true! It's definite...
Fine. I have no problem with that. It won't change the facts of the case. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Shoot!
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah. And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No, that's wrong! Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't...
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object about as thick as a...
Oh! I bet it was the...
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her...
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you...
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right?
We already know?
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That's the...
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
You sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
You sure?
You don't sound...
Well, 'cause it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too...
No, it's wrong! You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used
Another weapon?
inside the dojo locker. We also found a The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong.
Damn, that's hard.
How is it hard?
Anyway, as for who the culprit is, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no.
How can you say that with...
Because we have proof, of course. What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all.
Of course.
Then show us. Show
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko right here.
And how does that prove...
Because I found it in your...
It was... in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you...
Hold on a second.
Not this again.
No, it's not that I want it. There's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just... protecting you.
What?
That's enough. The time for idle
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't.
I knew you were stubborn.
Really? But you should know. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly.
I'm not the killer.
You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
there's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory. You said I hid the and then left
The locker key in my own room. But
Could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, it's wrong! If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting without my room key. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't.
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to—
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I couldn't possibly have killed her.
Someone had to put...
There's only one other someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hit?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it. Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trap. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why—
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we—
It's because you were late! So we had to push back the start time! So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Sorry.
Yes, indeed! Yep. Hey! Shing! Thrills! Chills! Kick!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
This is...
It would seem...
What the heck?
In other words, calm down. In other words,
What did you say?
so... Just a second. It smells awful. Indeed. So... Hey. Hmm? So... You... Indeed. However... It's true. In other words... Indeed. Makoto. That's right. It would seem... Hey. Indeed. However... Why is that? Correct. However...
I understand. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Listen. Hey. Correct. So... Correct. So... In other words, no matter what,
So,
however, so, it's true. Indeed. Correct. However, so, however, anyway, indeed. Correct. That's right. In other words, hey. Indeed. Anyway, correct. However, correct. Indeed. Correct. In other words, Makoto. Indeed. That's right. It would seem... Indeed. Anyway... Indeed. That's right. It's true. Indeed. Hey. So... Wrong. Right. Indeed. It's true. However, What? Wrong. However, So... However, right. However, so... However, Correct. Wrong. Hey. Indeed. That's right. Whew. Listen. So then, in other words, however, because so right. Indeed. Shall we go?
now well. Pung, pung.
What?
Shing! Making me
Right. However, now,
Hey!
because in other words, however, right. Indeed. However, am I wrong? Listen to me.
Well?
Well, that doesn't matter. That's right.
Pung, pung.
Because however,
What the heck?
indeed. Hey. Indeed. Listen to me. Hey. That's what we have to do. It's true. It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey.
Barrett! What's wrong?
In other words,
You guys! I can barely contain myself! Barrett! You guys!
It's true.
You guys!
Listen to me. Hey,
What's wrong?
hey, listen.
Now I'm really angry!
Whew.
Hey!
Hey, however, whew. So, because so listen. Indeed. However, in other words, so it would seem in other words, correct. Hey. That's right. It's true. Makoto. In other words, at the very least, indeed. Right. It's true. Indeed. In other words, however, wrong. Whew. However, correct. Hey. However, anyway, shall we go? Hey. Whew. However,
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it, that's Makoto!
you survived?
Jeez. You're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
What?
What the heck?
Makoto.
Yes.
It's true.
Huh?
In other words,
Huh?
How about that?
wrong.
I see.
Huh?
That's right. However,
What?
however,
Huh?
correct.
Naturally.
Don't be mean!
But
I hate you!
Anyway,
but
I... Anyway... Indeed.
I see.
Huh?
So, in other words... In other words... That's right.
No way!
Indeed.
What? But...
I'm right.
You've all probably, at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit.
that's fine. In the name of my family. Goodbye.
Hey.
Indeed.
You know?
Just a second!
How about that?
But... 'cause, I mean... Huh? But... okay.
Indeed. However... So... So then... Correct. Makoto.
What?